a massive welcome to my next guest, and just an all-round incredible man. One of the most inspirational men, and certainly the most inspirational fighters I've ever known or even known of. Former British champion, Mr. Nick Blackwell. So you've got such a almost a sad story, but one that you've turned round for the better. And like you said, and you said many, many times, and you've got this saying, everything happens for a reason. And you know
Yeah,
what?
it does.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. So, just to introduce you to the world audience, I'm sure us over in Britain all know you are, but maybe in Africa or the US or wherever people may be watching this. You were a former British champion. You were the youngest English champion ever, as far as I'm aware. You had a great career of
Yeah.
19 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw. Now, what we like to do here, Nick, is just do something a little bit different than anyone else. We like to get to know the person behind the gloves. So let's start right from the very beginning. What got you into boxing?
Um, I was a troublesome kid, putting weight on, and wanted to put my anger in something. And my mum and dad didn't want me to go boxing, but I wanted to go boxing, so I went down to the boxing gym, and it all started from there.
The thing is, I've got a son of my own. You saw it just, and there's no way in a million years that my missus would let my son box. There's just
No,
absolutely no chance. Absolutely
no.
no chance. So you were the youngest ever English champion, weren't you? Am I right in thinking?
Yeah, youngest English champion. Yeah,
That's pretty amazing. That pretty. So I mean, you've got the likes of Daniel Dubois, who was,
yeah,
I think he was very young, wasn't he? 2021,
yeah. It
the
was.
big
Yeah,
heavyweight, and
yeah,
that's something. How does it feel to kind of be in the record books? That must be pretty amazing.
yeah. Amazing. Yeah, I've done quite a lot in my short career, which I'm proud of.
Brilliant. So your night of glory, if you want to call it that, is you won the British title against John Ryder, who
Yeah,
um, I don't know what you did to him, but he's suddenly gone better
yeah. He has. He's got better.
since you
He
beat
has
him.
got better.
Which is
Yeah,
pretty amazing. So
yeah.
talk us through the fight.
Um, on my training camp was spot on. I was training 3 times a day, 7 days a week. Sunday, I would just go for a 5 to 8 mile run. I've never been so confident in a fight in my life. Um, yeah, it was on. I was the main event, and Anthony Joshua was in the undercard of my fight, which is amazing. I can't believe that
What?
Anthony Joshua. Yeah, Anthony Joshua. I was a headline. I was the main event. Anthony Joshua on the undercard of my fight.
Wow. I mean, that's something to
Yeah,
tell
I
your
know.
grandkids about, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, I know. I can't believe it. It's amazing.
Anthony Joshua on the undercard. I mean, that's
Yeah,
something you'll be remembered for forever. That's
I know
that's
exactly.
that's awesome, awesome.
Yeah,
So, like I say, it's been an eventful career, which I think you would agree with. It's certainly been eventful, and you fought Chris Eubank Jr. Back
yeah,
in 2016. Um,
yeah.
how did you feel ahead of the fight?
I didn't feel 100%. I felt very lethargic. My left side didn't feel, I didn't feel great. I was walking out of the changing room, and I wasn't 100%. I was walking out to the fight, and I knew something was up with me. I knew something, but I shouldn't have went to sparring.
So you think that maybe you were not feeling too great ahead of the fight?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. So during that fight, so the referee stopped the fight in the
mm,
10th round, and you put up a hell. You were always known for being such a hard man. All explosive, all action, which was
come
amazing.
forward.
Yeah, that's bang bang Blackwell. I think that's pretty
I
much.
never take a backward step.
Yeah, yeah, that says everything, doesn't it? Bang bang Blackwell. That's for sure. But you sustained really bad eye, didn't you? Um,
Yeah, blessing in disguise.
I think it was, yeah, which we'll definitely get onto in a minute. But we'll show you as you're watching, guys, that his eye was out here. I mean, it was a real mess. Tell us what happened in the days following the Eubank fight.
I I collapsed, and I collapsed in the ring, and I got put into a induced coma.
I know that Gary Lockett, your trainer, said
Mm.
that you collapsed in his arms
Yeah,
on the
great.
adverts. Yeah,
Yeah,
which was
uh,
that must have been terrible for him. Bless him. It
yeah.
must have been pretty shocking. So you collapsed. What happened from collapsing? What happened next?
I got to go out in a stretcher on my nose. Oh, I got taken out of oxygen. Got taken out of oxygen and got taken out of the ring.
Wow, well, scary time, I'm sure, for people that love you.
Yeah, yeah. My family and all my friends. Yeah, real
Yeah.
scary.
So you didn't really get, let's say, a very good chance of living, did you? Was there a 75% chance of you
Yeah,
dying, which
yeah.
was,
75% chance.
I mean, that's, I mean, how do you feel, looking back on something that devastating?
I know. I died in the ambulance as well. I died in the ambulance and they brought me back to life. It's crazy.
That's absolutely crazy. So you actually died there, and they brought you
I
back.
died. I died in the ambulance and they brought me back to life. The second time.
Bless your heart. So, a bit of a miracle at this stage is you actually recovered pretty well, didn't you?
Yeah,
Following the Chris Eubank fight,
yeah.
kind of what happened from there.
Um, then I went sparring. My own fault, but I say it's also a box was my life.
So, from what I understand, with the actual, after you sparring, you'd then been hurt. Just to explain, because I know me and you know the story, but people out there probably
Mm.
don't, or may not. So you've been put in a coma,
Yeah,
following
induced
induced
coma.
coma,
Mm.
following brain injury from Chris Eubank Jr. You've
Yeah,
then recovered really well, and then
yeah,
you've gone out again because you felt like
mm.
yourself, didn't you? You felt
Yeah. I
like,
did. I felt myself.
yeah,
Yeah, I did. It's crazy.
and you went sparring, and then
Yeah,
you sustained another brain injury, didn't you?
yeah.
Which I can't imagine,
Um,
from there. Was this much worse then at this stage with this
yeah,
second injury?
yeah. That's when they put my skull and put it into my belly. Stop the swelling.
So tell us that then. You said they took your skull and put it in your stomach.
Yeah, put my skull into my stomach so my skull would stay alive and produce swelling from my brain.
Right, I see. I know you
Mm.
said that to me before a long time ago,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
to keep the bone alive.
yeah. Get the
Wow.
bone alive. Yeah,
I tell you
it's
what, they're
crazy.
amazing these days, aren't they?
Oh, amazing.
That's absolutely incredible, brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this kind of thing is really hard on not just you, but
Mm.
also the people that love you.
Oh, no, really
How,
hard.
let's say, how did it affect your family and your trainer Gary Lockett?
Yeah, Gary Lockett was in bits. My family are in bits. They didn't think I was going to be here talking to you now, but yeah, it's crazy.
Now, a bit of a sad story. We don't get me wrong. It's not all sad because you got a bit of a happy ending in the end with your lovely lady, but
Yeah,
boxing was your life.
it was.
It was and is everything to
I
you.
would dream. I would dream about boxing. I would. I
Yeah.
would train 3 times a day, every day, and That's all I cared about was boxing.
Yeah.
That's all I cared about.
So hearing the news that every person who loves anything wants to
I
hear is
know.
they could never do it again, and you got told
Yeah,
you could never lace the gloves up again.
I know.
How did that make you feel?
I felt like it was over for me. Just didn't feel like I could. It was crazy. My dream it's been taken away from me. It was what I've worked so hard for. It's been taken away from me.
And
But I went out. I went out on a high. I went out on a high. Youngest English champion. I was a British champion. So you can't never take that away from me.
you definitely did. You really did do fantastic, and we're all so proud of you. And you should be incredibly proud of yourself. I can see that. Just see the picture there with the blue gloves on behind you, which goes perfectly actually with your top. Thinking about it, but I must be living with a wife too long.
As your son said, Hugo Postov.
Absolutely love it. So, Chris Eubank Jr. Obviously he did, you know. He made this happen in a way, you know, but it's not his fault, you know. It's just the nature of boxing.
It's my fault.
Is it though, or would it be someone else's fault if it's them? It was just circumstance, wasn't it? You know. But following this injury, did you hear from Chris Eubank at all? I mean, tell us about that.
No, didn't hear anything from him at all. Nothing.
Not even a word. Not even nothing at all.
No. He said he was going to give me my British title belt, give it to me, but he couldn't give it to me because he didn't defend it 3 times to an outright.
Of course, because for people out there, you can't give
the British title. You win it. You win it when you defend it 3 times in a row.
Right. Not good. Not good. Now during the fight, Chris Eubank Sr., his father, seemed to recognise what was happening during that fight, because I still think it may be down to the injuries that he gave to Watson. Exactly, back in the day. And he started to tell his son to start hitting you in the body rather than in your head because you were taking too much punishment. Do you feel in a weird kind of way? I mean, I know he hasn't been great to you since, quite clearly, but do you feel in a weird kind of way that maybe he could have saved your life?
Yeah, I think he was trying to save my life, because he didn't want him hitting me to the head because what happened to my Watson. But looking back at it, Chris Eubank Jr., all he done was hit me to the head. He wasn't hitting me in the body, he was hitting me in the head the whole fight.
So even after being asked to start hitting the body rather than the head, he was still hitting you in the head?
Him in the head, yeah, of course he was.
Right, okay. Fair enough.
You're in there to hurt each other, to try and knock each other out. That's the aim of the game, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And it's hard to kind of hate people or put any hate on people that you know, they're doing the job at the end of the day.
Yeah, they are.
You know,
exactly.
Definitely. So
it's a dangerous sport, a really dangerous sport, but I believe it is one of the best sports in the world.
The best for me. The best.
Yeah.
And I'm sure to many others out there. Thanks for watching. So we spoke, God, I think it was a year and a half, 2 years ago now, and you'd really put quite a lot of weight. I know I can't say much about that, but you'd put a bit of weight on. You didn't look yourself.
Time flies when you're having fun.
There you go. There you go. As obviously the brain injury was very bad, and it's something that you've got to live with. Really for the rest of your life. And I will, off record, congratulate you massively for how far you've come, Nick. It's amazing, mate. Honestly, what you've done, and it's absolutely incredible. It really, really is. Obviously, from a brain injury, if we're looking on the medical side of things, is there anything you can do to, help with recovery?
Well, I think my damage has been done now for the rest of my life, so I just got to deal with whatever. But so I'm a different person to what I was when I was training.
Yeah. And is there anything you can kind of? That's new to me. This is quite new to me. I know you said in the past that you've tried like memory games and things like this to try and get them sparks flying a bit better. These days, do you do anything like that to aid in recovery?
I do some things, Little things spark my memory, and it brings back little memories.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, I'm sure, the way you look at you now, you look like the old Nick Blackwell. It's absolutely incredible. It's absolutely such a great transformation.
I look like it, but I'm not inside, unfortunately.
Yeah. But still, let's hope we can keep pushing. Let's be honest with each other. It'll always be there. But
I need a lot. My missus helps me a lot. But yeah, I do need a lot of help.
Yeah, and it's great to see you've got such a support network there. Great support network with your missus. It's great
Yeah,
to see.
and my dad helped me massively as well. He still help me now.
And that's something that you always, you know, bring up. You know,
Mm.
your father, your support network,
Yeah,
your partner, and
yeah, it's amazing.
can't imagine how invaluable that is. You know,
I
going
know.
through that kind of experience. You know, it's yeah, it's good on them, and congratulations to
Yeah,
them. Now, if you could go back, you obviously none of us can, but if
no.
we could, rewind the clock and go back to
Mm.
2016,
Yeah.
what would you change if you could go back?
If I could go back, I would change not going sparring.
The second time around when you'd recovered a bit better.
Yeah, the second time around when I recovered a lot better. Yeah, exactly.
How about the before the Eubank fight when you were feeling not so great first? Would you have maybe still took the fight, knowing the warrior you were, or would you maybe have said, "I'll leave it a few weeks"?
No, I still would have took the fight. I
And
was I was not one to say no to a fight.
I kind of expected that answer. To be deadly honest. Now, what are you doing now then? What are you doing these days?
I got family life now. With my missus, my stepson, walk the dogs 2 times, 3 times a day. I'm in the boxing gym. Love going down there and giving all the young kids my knowledge and speaking to my mates down there and seeing all the lads. Yeah, it's really good.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now,
Yeah,
one thing with you is boxing was absolutely your heart and soul, and
yeah.
it is mine. If I'm being honest, it runs through my veins. But let's
I might as well.
absolutely. So let's talk about modern boxing. I take it you still watch boxing these days.
More time.
Brilliant, brilliant.
I'm in contact with still a lot of boxers now. Actually,
You still watching now?
yeah, I'm in contact with a lot of boxers now.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, Billy Joe Saunders, Peter Fury, David Hay. Yeah, so got some good fights coming up.
There is, and a fight that I wanted to raise with you more than anything else
Oh yeah.
was a huge fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. What a fight that is, though, mate. I mean, come on.
Oh, it is the biggest fight of boxing history ever.
It really, really is.
It is the biggest fight ever.
Who wins
It
it?
is, like Billy Joe Saunders against Canelo Alvarez, and it's exactly the same.
It's another one. It's another
Yeah,
one. But who wins the fight? Joshua Fury.
I think it's going to be a tough fight. They're both going to be the best shape of their life. But for me personally, I think Tyson Fury, just because he's so fast, he's got such good hand speed. He got up from Deontay Wilder and knocking him down. Like everyone thought he was out of the count, and he got up.
That was insane.
Anthony Joshua has got a lot of power, but he's got if he gets hit, he gets put down by Ruiz. But you just don't know in boxing. One punch can change everything.
It
But it's going
can.
to be a fight I can't wait to happen. I cannot wait for that fight.
I mean, they're expecting a 200 million. It's going to be worth 200 million to the fighters over the two
Yeah, well,
fights. Oh,
they deserve it. It's the biggest fight ever. So that's what they deserve.
I completely agree. I
Yeah,
completely agree. It's going to be an incredible fight. There's absolutely no
biggest
doubt about it.
fight of boxing history. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I mean, it's certainly the biggest British fight, in my opinion,
Yeah, it is.
in
Yeah,
boxing
of course it is.
history.
Yeah, of course it is.
And it's right up there with the biggest, yeah, of any,
Yeah,
And
yeah,
but I suppose we're a bit more biased because we're Brits, so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
expected. But it's certainly one of the biggest, and it's going to certainly bring in some money. There's no doubt about that. I've got a question out of the
yeah.
blue, and I want to hear because you love boxing as much as me, so I want to ask your opinion on this really. Kovalev, just because I've said his name, is recently, and I'll say allegedly because innocent until proven guilty, has recently been tested positive for artificial testosterone,
Yeah,
which is bad. You see it a lot in the sport this day and age,
yeah,
that people are taking drugs and doping
yeah.
to get an edge in the sport. What do you think should happen to the people who are taking these drugs?
They should get banned from sport. They should get banned straight away. They should get banned. If they get tested and found positive, they should get banned.
I mean, it's almost like attempted murder, isn't it?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
natural stuff into your body.
I mean, no disrespect, but look what happened to a lot of other fighters, and look what happened to you. Imagine, that is literally
I know.
attempted murder for me. So I think they should be banned forever.
Yeah,
Literally
they
banned
should.
forever.
And a massive fine.
Huge, absolutely
Yeah.
huge. So obviously you're a lot more active these days on the likes of social media.
Yeah.
Where can we find you on social media?
Instagram is Nick Bang Bang Blackwell.
Nick Bang Bang Blackwell on Instagram.
Yeah.
Awesome,
And,
awesome,
and Twitter, Nick Bang Bang Nick Blackwell 02.
brilliant, brilliant. Now I know you've got a lot of admirers and a lot of people inspired, really, because I think people are always aware that brain injuries can happen in boxing. I mean, you'd be a bit stupid to think it doesn't.
Yeah,
You've
of
only
course
got to
it
look
will.
at some of the fighters who are older now who've had brain
I know.
injuries over time.
I know.
But you've got a lot of fans out there. So what have you got to say to your fans?
I was going to say a massive thank you to everyone who supported me and still supporting me now for my boxing career, and now to where I'm not boxing now and still support me now. It means a lot to me. It really does. Really means a lot to me.
I just want to say from my end,
Enough.
thanks for the memories because I loved you and I still
And I
do.
still
In fact,
do.
I think you love you a bit more these days. I think you're a great guy, and just a massive congratulations to you and your family, your partner, and your father, and the rest of your family who've been such a fantastic support network throughout
Yeah,
all of this.
I'm lucky. A good family around me. Great missus. Great people around me.
It's great to see. Thanks so much for coming on the show, Nick.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.